but keep it to yourself. I'm feeling curious, want to explore it, nothing too serious. Forget the world for a minute, before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it, hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come on, here with me, I want for you to go. No need to worry, there is no hurry to stay, we'll take it slow.
The 2K Sports Pregame Show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it's the Houston Rockets as they'll be playing against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. Looking at the Thunder, they'd like to play well to start this season series. They haven't forgotten how this team knocked them out in the first round last season. And now around the halfway point, the novelty of the new season has died down, and we're still a long way from the playoffs. Shaq, how do the players maintain focus through this stretch? How do you maintain focus?
Well,
Have you maintained focus?
Easy. You're a pro, Ernie. Do your job. That's your job.
There you go.
You know, and not only that, you got to be a real competitor. You got to want to compete.
Yeah, good coaching, and the veterans can help you through this because the veterans have been here before. They can kind of lead you and guide you.
Do you feel focused right now?
Not at all.
No. Do you feel focused right now?
Never.
Well, that makes three of us. Here's Kevin Harden. He's always focused.
A view of I-40 in Chesapeake Energy Arena, taken from the Skydance Bridge in Oklahoma City. That's our setting tonight. Welcome to a special presentation of the NBA on Christmas Day here on 2K Sports. We want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter David Aldridge. The fans are making noise here at the Chesapeake Energy Arena. The Oklahoma City Thunder getting settled in. They return victorious from an undefeated road trip back to the loving embrace of their hometown faithful.
Yeah, and the atmosphere in this building is incredible. And as that win streak continues to grow, the fans' excitement has grown right along with it. And now we've reached that point where it's considered a frenzy.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Well, guys, we all know how hard Russell Westbrook plays every night. Coach Billy Donovan said he plays with such force and passion. He gets so intense, so competitive, so emotional, but he's doing a good job of bringing himself back together and understanding there's other guys out there depending on him. Kevin?
And that's how Russ has always been, D.A., a high-motor player who leaves it all out on the floor. Clark, I'm certain for coaches and for players too, but certainly for the coach because he's got to moderate this, how he tries to keep his players focused every night in every game in the NBA. It's such a long season.
Yeah, it really is a long season, and you have to sprinkle and not spray if you're a coach. By that I mean you can't use all of your material too early in terms of motivating. But the other thing is, you need not be motivating your players all the time if you're a coach. That's something that pro players should be doing themselves.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. And so in the game for the Rockets, Ariza and Anderson holding down the forward spots. The two pillars of this team, Chris Paul and Harden, are the 1 and the 2. And it's Capella in at the center, locking down the middle. Here's Westbrook. The rebound by Anderson. Ariza kicks to Paul. There's the double team with Westbrook. On the wing, Harden. We saw him go on a scoring rampage last game. Just 5 on the clock. Paul, no one around him. No good from outside. Rockets on defense. It's a three-point game. And going against Oklahoma City, their first meeting of the year.
Yeah, some history here, though. Of course, they won that first-round series in last year's playoffs and ended up sending them packing.
Added incentive in a game like this. I mean, they've got to be ready to rise up to that challenge.
They double him with George to the middle. Knocks it loose. Ariza with it. George picks him up. Ariza no luck. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Now on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a three-point play chance. That'll put Paul George on the line. That one is on Ariza. Well, one thing about Paul George, outstanding length for a wing. Clark, he's listed at 6'9", but he's grown since he came into the league, hasn't he?
Yeah, we've had debates about that because I'm about 6'8.5" or so, and I kind of look at him eye to eye, but he feels like he's taller than me, so we'll go with PG on that one. But he's also added some muscle too, Kevin, and that's helped him at both ends of the floor. He's a lot stronger and able to play through contact as a result of it.
Free throw good, Paul George.
One of the things you like about Paul George is that he's really elevated his game each year he's been in the league. He's a go-to scorer. He's an outstanding defender, and he's excellent now as the leader of the team, really growing into that leadership role.
Working the in-between area. Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful jam.
Yes, indeed. Man, I tell you what, one of the things I love about Westbrook is the ferocity with which he attacks the rack. When he's driving inside, he's trying to punish the defender and the basket.
Goes up, and Westbrook throws it down.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
And here are the Rockets now. The Thunder making the shot. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul. Here's Anthony. He had 16 points in the win against the Utah Jazz. Quick shot there, and it's off target.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
There's Paul. Hits the target from 18 feet. Paul's got 5 points so far.
Well, I tell you what, that's a shot Chris Paul is really comfortable with. I mean, if he gets the space to rise up from mid-range, he's going to bury that. Carmelo Anthony showing you his passing skill there.
And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Westbrook against Paul. Outside Westbrook. And he jams it right over Clint Capella. Wow.
And you know Westbrook has an outstanding vertical. And once he gets to the launching pad, rim, beware.
Screen by Capella. And it's out of bounds to the Rockets as Houston retains possession.
A moment now to see the numbers for Capella. Over the last month, he has been spectacular. First in shooting percentage, fourth in blocks, and he's truly a force around the rim, ranking among the top 5 in rebounds per game.
And you're right, he's been the pinnacle of scoring efficiency. Never seems to take a bad shot. That's why he's tops in field goal percentage. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams. And it's the Rockets with the ball. Trailing by 4. 4 on the clock. Ariza with it. George picks him up from beyond the arc. Kept alive by Houston. And it's put back up and in by Capella.
Love how Capella stays alert on the offensive board, creating second chance opportunities thanks to that activity.
And Adams with the slam.
A great assist. Nice work from Russell Westbrook.
Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Ball against Westbrook. Anderson the screen. Adams brings the double team. Capella kicks to Harden. 6 to shoot. And the dunk by Capella.
Hey, he's not going to mess that one up. Capella, when he's that close, count it.
It's George on the wing. And then George with the jam.
And you know what? For me, these dunks show exactly how great an athlete George is. I mean, sometimes you're surprised that the basket doesn't come down with the force he punches it with.
That doesn't go either for Ariza. The Thunder leading by 4. Goes up the baseline. That's good for George on the assist from Robertson. That's 7 points for George.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
And here's Anderson from the arc. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And the Thunder going the other way now.
Man. Just befuddling body control from George. I mean, taking the hit like a man and still getting all the way to the basket.
Here is Paul following the score by Oklahoma City. And they double up Paul. Anderson wide open, and the 3 ball is good. Anderson's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
And they can't allow him too many open looks like that. That's just inviting trouble.
Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
Here's Paul following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Paul dishes to Capella. Adams brings the double team. Back to Paul. The tray. Carmelo Anthony comes up with the rebound. The Thunder leading by 9. And Robertson kicks to George. Oklahoma City moving it around. The lead pushed to double digits. Anthony's got his second basket of the night.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
Yeah, and they've come out strong. I mean, clearly they've been the better team so far.
And Houston calls their first time out of the game. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
Tough night. I mean, they attacked on both ends, and unfortunately for them, they just got called for a lot of fouls.
Yeah, they were too physical and a little bit out of position. They were rough out there, but ultimately the physicality led to fouls, and that hurt them.
And let's see which big men have had the softest touch lately with this look at the leading field goal percentages among centers and power forwards in the last 10 games. Clint Capella on top.
You know, he's gotten to the top of that list because he has a terrific sense and touch around the basket. He just finds ways to convert low post opportunities.
Yeah, I concur with that. But it's not just finesse with him, guys. I mean, he can use his strength as well. He'll get his points the soft or the hard way.
And that one's good, Anthony.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
And it's Anthony with the jam.
Yeah, pounding it inside once again. They have taken over this game physically.
Schooling them right now. Taking them to the woodshed. Super aggressive and owning the paint.
And it's the Rockets with the ball. Following the score by Oklahoma City. Ariza with it. George picks him up. Paul passes to Anderson. The Rockets again can't hit.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And Anthony gets it to go.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
Rockets trail by 17. Now Harden. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Excellent use of the screen that time. Anderson's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for the Rockets.
Hey, you have to always be mindful of where Anderson is at all times because he's an excellent marksman.
And already with the commanding lead, a terrific offensive performance.
Yeah, and the execution time and time again, right on point. They're running their offense to perfection.
And here we go with Anthony running it up the court, and Westbrook throws it down.
Man, you got to admire how easily Westbrook takes over games. I mean, an offensive juggernaut who is tenacious when it comes to scoring.
Now here's Paul. 5 points in the game. Feeds to Capella. They set the pick from deep. Harden. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Here's Adams. Good work defensively by Capella.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Out to the right wing. Paul for three. Drills the three-pointer. Paul's got 8.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
And guys, now that they're rolling from out there, the defense has to really get up into them. You've got to almost be in their jerseys to try to deny those looks.
Here is Paul, following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Paul dishes to Capella, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Well, Swiss center Clint Capella is up there as one of the most efficient players in the league. He's only 22, but he's efficient mostly because all his shots come right at the basket, right on the doorstep. Last season, he finished near the top of the league, in fact, in field goal percentage.
And for a while, he was leading the league, if I recall correctly, Kevin. Capella knows who he is, what he's about, and what his team needs from him. So he finishes off his chances that are created by guards penetrating. Not flashy, but very effective.
That's good from Capella.
Oh, I tell you what, it's really impressive how Capella has improved his role so quickly, Kevin. I mean, he's a starting caliber center known for his defense, but continues to make strides on offense, too.
And Oklahoma City going with a whole new group out there. And then for Houston, Nene, he's checked in for Anderson. P.J. Tucker comes in for Trevor Ariza. And Gordon subbed in for James Harden. Clark, trying to find players that complement each other is such a big factor in the NBA. How much do differing styles of play matter for a low block pairing, for instance?
Kevin, I think it's critical. You need guys that have complementary skills. Somebody that can score it with his back to the basket deep in the post. And then that other big guy has to be more versatile. He has to be a good passer from every angle in the post area. And he has to be a guy who can make shots from that 12 to 17-foot range. So you have the kind of spacing that's ideal for 2 good inside players.
Timeout called, the Rockets. Greg, the one thing about Patrick Patterson out of Kentucky, he is a smart basketball player.
Yeah, he's not the best rebounder or shot blocker, but the advanced stats love him, and he gets the job done at both ends of the floor.
We see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Westbrook.
And you look at the chart, and you see they have done a lot of their damage in the mid-range game. So often teams will try to force everything at the hoop or only rely on the 3 to score, but they have seen what the defense is giving them and taken every open look they've found.
Oklahoma City on D. They lead by 14. They set the pick, and as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball here.
Here's where Oklahoma City sits in the NBA statistical standings right now.
And you mentioned their steals. I mean, it's great defensive anticipation that has them at the top of the rankings. They've been tremendous at reading the offense and getting into those passing lanes.
It's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. As we approach the halfway mark, let's take a look at how everything stands out west. You look at Houston. They're holding on to second spot in the conference. A great season for them so far. And checking out Oklahoma City. 8 games out.
And I think for Oklahoma City, this hasn't been the breakout season that many were predicting, but they're still very much in the hunt for a high postseason seed, and that will keep them focused here during the season's final stages.
And they need to stay focused. I mean, they have to ensure they hang on to a high seed. It's imperative for them.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear they're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Time-dropping delights is what I call it.
That is a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Paul kicks it to Tucker. He feeds it to Gordon. Nene, the screen. Back to Tucker. Gordon for three. Up again, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Boy, you got to box him out or he takes off for these throwdown putbacks. Capella doing work on the glass.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
Here's Paul, following the score by Oklahoma City. 1:33 left here in the opening quarter. Dishes to Capella. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. That's on Patrick Patterson.
Man, it's nice to see Capella get that deep position inside, and then he's able to draw the foul as he forces the defense to whack him.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Thunder?
They've pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast breaks.
He's off on the first. And you ask any Houston fan who the greatest player in the history of their franchise is, and they all say Hakeem Olajuwon. Clark, you played against Olajuwon. Just how great a player was he, and what does he mean to this Rockets franchise today?
Boy, he was special. A first ballot Hall of Famer, brought the only titles in franchise history to the Rockets, and could do everything you want from a big guy. Graceful, strong, a presence defensively and on the glass, unselfish. They called him Hakeem the Dream for good reason. That dude was a dream to play with and a nightmare for opponents.
And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here.
Hey, he just threw that possession away. Hopefully he learns from that and doesn't make the same mistake again.
There's the pass to Paul. Shot by Gordon, wide open. Good, and Paul gets the assist. And it's 8 points for Eric Gordon.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And, Greg, it's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
Here's Paul. Patrick Patterson picking up that last bucket. And it's Gordon missing.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half and half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. You know, the ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
And the Rockets with possession here, following the score by Oklahoma City.
And you might as well ride him, Kevin. When he's hot like that, feeling it, Capella needs to be ridden and ridden hard.
No good from Grant.
He's been terrible. Absolutely awful. I mean, can't get it going. His shot isn't there right now.
Ooh! That's how you attack. Wow.
Oh, man. my.
Oh, forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend.
And how? Brilliant throwdown.
Exercising his authority.
Rockets have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one drops.
Really appreciate the all-around game of Gordon. He's an underrated defender, but a dynamic scorer.
And Gordon drops them both.
Solid trip from the line right there. Knocked him down, and it was easy.
Shot from 12. Patterson can't get it to go. Tucker with the ball. Russell Westbrook has been leading the charge for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He totaled 14 points in the quarter. He's given them all the offense they need right now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And power forward Patrick Patterson, getting better every season. He said that his college career at Kentucky really helped prepare him for his life as a pro.
I think my 3 years at Kentucky, caused what I am now, as far as being a sound player, a guy who's not all about himself, who puts his team first and who works hard and who doesn't talk back, who doesn't do the negative things. He's a team player, he's a team guy, and he works hard.
Patterson Clark, exactly the guy he says he is, and that's why he's one of those glue guys you've got to have on your team.
And the kind of guy who his teammates love, because they know he's always going to have their back, always going to work hard, and always going to bring it.
And we're ready to get rolling once again here for our Christmas Day matchup. What do you guys think about the Thunder here in this one?
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
Grinding away down low, man, just filing them down. Love the bully ball method. Paying off well.
They've got Patrick Patterson. Grant is out there with Eustace. Then there's Felton. And it's Abrinas in at the 2. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Shot clock at 5. Here's Tucker.
I like watching Grant work hard on the defensive end. He puts great effort into that end of the floor. He's good at pestering whoever he happens to be on, and his long reach helps him do that.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked. You're toast. They learned that lesson there.
On the free throw, no good. Clark, when you played, did you have any superstitions or a game day ritual that you would follow?
Superstitions are a waste of time in my book, Kevin. I had none, not any. I liked my pregame nap. I'd get a good pregame meal, and then it was about focusing on my assignment for that particular game and night or day. Superstitions, I know a lot of guys have them. They weren't part of my toolkit.
Well, that's 3 of their last 5 baskets in transition.
Paul passes to Tucker. He dishes it to Gordon. Capella with a screen on Patterson. That's tipped. And here's the fast break. A finish. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now.
Well, you know what? You don't want to do too much to get an opponent riled up. You got to be mindful of that.
Here's Felton. Again, Oklahoma City.
And a terrific percentage here in the first half. You got to love their rhythm and the flow with which they're playing.
I agree with you. I mean, they just look comfortable out there, taking what the defense gives them and then capitalizing with no real problem at all.
And there's the call on Felton. That's his first foul. And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. There's the pick. And they double up Gordon. Passes it to Nene. Can they get it? 5 to shoot. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
And when he squares up, his height makes him a tough assignment.
Yeah, and he knows how to utilize that size. He takes advantage of it. And that's why he's able to take his time on these shots, because he knows he has that extra height advantage.
Tucker with the ball. Now defended by Grant. Lob pass to Capella. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. They led by as many as 18 points. They'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. That'll be the second of 4 games at home for them.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
Yeah, he's got to make some adjustments here. Just too easy to score in the lane against them right now.
Yeah, there's no reason why they should be scoring at will down there easily as they have. I mean, they've got to be more aggressive inside.
James Harden, he's checked in for Clint Capella. And let's take this chance now to look at the real stats, the real scores from the real NBA. Here are the league's leading scorers. James Harden, number 1.
And all you have to do is point to his name at the top of that list. Does that tell the story well enough or what? What a season.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
For 3, Gordon. The rebound by Patterson. And it's Oklahoma City's ball. They're on a 12-4 run right now. No good from Grant.
Unfortunately, his shot has been everywhere, all over the place. Can't buy a basket. However, his teammates got him covered.
And the dunk by Grant.
You know what? When you allow Grant to get close to the rim, you risk seeing him give you a facial right in your grill. I mean, tremendous athleticism from the Syracuse alone.
Gordon outside. Good, and Paul gets the assist.
Timeout.
And that's 13 points for Eric Gordon.
It's first triple of the second quarter, third of the game.
And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City.
Well, Chris Paul signing the big contract this past offseason, and you knew he'd end up with one of the biggest deals out there, and his impact on a team goes far beyond just stats.
The Thunder going with a whole new group out there. Houston also making some changes. Anderson comes in for P.J. Tucker, and Trevor Ariza has subbed in for Paul. Well, Greg, Houston wanted Chris Paul, and they got their man. One of the bigger surprises, certainly, of the offseason.
Yeah, and without Paul on this roster, this team isn't in the conversation for winning. You need him to keep your window of winning open, and he is just that impactful and makes everyone on the floor better.
And Adams with the slam.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
And it's Gordon missing. And it's Oklahoma City's ball. They're on an 18-7 run. And it's Westbrook missing. Rockets trail by 16. Harden dishes to Ariza. Houston moving it around. The Rockets with another miss.
He's yet to hit another three after nailing one in the first, but I don't think that's going to stop him from shooting.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And Paul George kind of made it known of his desire to leave for L.A. after this season, but big risk for the Thunder to make that move and trade for him.
And for Paul George, who knows what the future holds for him, but Greg, he is a great fit, it would seem, for the Thunder.
Listen, you give the Thunder another star to pair with Westbrook, and they're taking a leap of faith here with George.
2 shot.
No good on the free throw. Clark, in your rookie season in the NBA, did you ever have a welcome to the NBA moment, a player or sequence where you were brutally introduced to how unforgiving the NBA can truly be?
Yeah, how about my first night out? Spencer Haywood ran me in circles, and I shot 2 for 17, scored 6 or 8 points, and he was in my head from the very beginning. Thankfully, the Pacers won that game because it was a forgettable night other than that. But Spencer Haywood, even to this day, when I bump into him, reminds me of how he disrupted me and distracted me in that first game of my rookie season.
Lays it up and banks it in. George has got 12.
And one of the attributes about George that you really like is that Paul is a gamer. He's somebody who's got a great competitive spirit. He's used to being aggressively defended when he's down near the bucket, but it's still... My goodness.
Oh, that's an old-fashioned rim wrapper.
Just a remarkable gem. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now.
Platinum-level highlight reel material. That is Showtime stuff there.
From deep, Harden. Again, the miss by Harden.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Yeah, another column in the stat sheet that hasn't gone in their favor. To climb back, they've got to put forth more effort.
The Rockets with another miss.
I think it's going to be tough for them to trim this deficit if he keeps missing those kinds of shots, Kevin. I mean, they need his points.
Oh, fellas, that was vicious two-hand monster slam.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one.
Well, guys, I'm glad they didn't try because I don't want anybody to get hurt out there.
Ariza has the open look. The Rockets with another miss.
And they just tried everything to stem the tide here, but nothing seems to work.
Yeah, they can't find anything. They're lost right now. Everything working against them. And Kevin, there is no question about what this Rockets team wants to do. Shoot threes and drive it to the goal. Last in the league in mid-range jumpers by a long shot.
Free throw good, Paul George. And to give some more data on the Rockets and their threes, about 46% of their shots last season were from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and you know what? The Rockets are a firm believer in advanced analytics, which tilt the balance towards the three-point shot, and that's been a real driving force for why this team values the three as much as they do. And just another side note, that was an NBA record in terms of three-point shooting volume by the Rockets last season.
It's stolen by Adams. Pass to Carmelo. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock. Anthony's got 14.
Well, you got to respect the jump shot of Anthony because he's got the ultimate green light. And because of that freedom, he's a dangerous guy on the perimeter.
Nene with it. Now defended by Adams. A shot by Harden, wide open. And he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
Robertson can't hit. Harden kicks to Ariza. Anderson outside. On the wing, Gordon. And they double up Gordon. Poked loose. Harden outside. Clock at 6. Here's Gordon. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Way to work the glass, buffet style. Second chance buckets. They can make a big difference.
George. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 3 assists in the game. And they double up Gordon. Nene outside. Anderson right side. From the arc. Again, the miss by Gordon.
And out of rhythm offensively, but he continues to work at it.
Yeah, you know what? I think eventually he will find his rhythm because he is off right now, but all it takes is one hoop, and you're back in rhythm.
Westbrook drives in, and the shot is good. 16 points for him.
And, you know, Westbrook is fearless. Likes getting deep inside and finishing around the rim and plays in attack mode all the time.
And now Westbrook pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And Westbrook throws it down hard.
And folks, those are hops you just don't see from that one spot every day.
Well, that's why he is such an uncommon talent.
Yep, uncommon and unparalleled. I mean, he makes things happen out there for sure.
2 on none. No one back to stop this. And the dunk by Robertson.
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
Hey, that's a big piece of the pie when you're talking about winning basketball, fast break points. I mean, because most of the time, those are easy hoops.
Gordon kicks to Ariza. Drains the three-pointer. Ariza's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And Ariza has great confidence in his shot, a dynamite catch-and-shoot player.
Here's Anthony. Here's Adams. Nice work on the board. It's paying off with the basket.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Now here's Gordon. Not a lot of room. And they double up Gordon. Back to Nene. Houston moving it around. Clock at 6. In the corner, it's Gordon. Stolen by George. Here's Adams. He can't get that one. Good work defensively by Harden. Rocket shooting here, about 46% for the game. Knocked away. In the corner, it's Gordon. From outside, off the mark.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter.
Oh!
My goodness. Yeah, excellent determination there from George. This wasn't going to be denied. Fighting off the physical contact and nailing the shot over good defense.
And it's Ariza in the corner. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got his 3rd assist on the night.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Yeah, and they either have been unwilling or unable to take that shot away.
He was all alone on that one. Ariza's got 9.
You know, one of the great strengths of Coach D'Antoni, to me, Kevin, is he really gives his players a lot of confidence. And his philosophy really clicks with players. They're comfortable playing for him. They know their responsibilities, and they play hard for D'Antoni.
Outside Gordon. Anderson the screen. And here we go with Westbrook heading to the hoop. And the dunk by Westbrook.
Leaving the rest of the field in the dust.
Well, I think the defense flat out gave up. I mean, didn't even try to get back into the picture on that fast break finish.
Ariza, the three-pointer is right on target. Ariza's got 12 points now in the quarter.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
I think they're playing too soft on the perimeter. They can't stay so soft. They've got to get up into the shooters here.
And here again, the Thunder in transition. Up the court they go. And the dunk by Westbrook.
Well, I like that he shows no hesitation there.
Well, that's as easy as it gets, quite honestly. Riding solo and coasting all the way to the rack. No simpler than that.
That doesn't go either for Ariza.
And we haven't seen them get to the line as much here in the second quarter. They might be settling a tad too much offensively.
I think you're right. I mean, an up fake here or there, getting the ball inside, that's how you create high percentage offense.
Expanding his range. Thunder with the rebound. Kicks it to Carmelo. With 1 on the clock, and it's Westbrook laying it in. Westbrook's got 26 points.
And you can see how this game is going. I mean, put a body on somebody.
Exactly, man. Come on. You got to be physical down there. There's got to be some intensity and some physicality on the boards.
And so it's Oklahoma City up by 33 points as the buzzer sounds. A huge lead for them. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Carmelo looked like the offense was really working there. How were you guys able to get things going so well?
We got vets. We got guys that know how to play basketball. We come together as a team. We're doing that, and we're just trying to take it one day at a time. That's it.
Well, thanks for your time, Carmelo. See you in the second half. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Boy, what a crowd joining us here for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. It was all Russell Westbrook in the first quarter. He ended up with 26 points, 6 steals, and 4 assists. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, one thing is extremely clear. Westbrook loves being the number one option. He's become a triple-double machine. And when he wants to, he can lock down guys any position.
Shaq, how'd you think the Rockets were playing?
Well, they got to do a better job on the glass. Ernie, they got outworked. They were weak physically. That's part of how they fell behind in this game. I think if they could control those things, they'll be okay, Ernie.
And it's just about time now for the third quarter to get underway.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but you know, anything can happen. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game, he has been everywhere.
You know, and as effective as he was at slashing to the hoop in that first half, even better at finishing once he got there.
Guys, we saw some amazing dunks from him. I can't imagine he'll be able to top those in these last 2 quarters, but I'd love to see him try.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. And on the floor for Mike D'Antoni starting the second half. Anderson is down low with Capella. Filling out the wings, it's Harden and Ariza. And it's Paul in at the 1.
Their interior has been inferior defensively. It has got to tighten up.
You're right on target there, Greg. Of the last 10 points they've allowed, 8 have come from in close.
And Westbrook throws it down hard.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
Anderson with the ball. Now Anthony defending. Ariza no luck.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
The Thunder have gone 4 of 6 so far from the line, missing a couple.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw good from George. And George drops them both. And for Houston, they're shooting well. They're at 45%. It's Ariza on the wing. That doesn't go either for Ariza.
Obviously, I mean, it would go a long way if he's making his shots. Right now, they're behind, and they certainly could use his help.
Houston's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. The three hits it from three-point range. Ariza's got 15.
Man, watching Ariza pull the trigger from outside, he is a skilled sniper from deep.
Paul for three, and again it's the Rockets from deep.
And just no excuse, guys, for leaving a shooter like him open beyond the arc.
And that replay brought to us by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. One of the more exciting plays in basketball. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half.
And one of the surprise moves of this past offseason was Chris Paul moving to Houston, joining James Harden to become one of the strongest backcourts in our league. Kicked off a feeling that Houston would be a force this season.
Shooting 2.
That free throw good from George. And you know, Greg, many thought that Chris Paul may take a look at San Antonio, and he did, but Houston was too enticing a chance to pass up.
It's certainly a distinctive third chapter in Paul's career. He's always been criticized for not going deep in the playoffs, and saw Houston as maybe his best bet to make a deep run.
And George drops them both. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. They set the pick. Deep 2 from Anderson. Westbrook pulls it in. Westbrook's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Here's George. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. George has got 30 points.
And a lot of teams avoid the mid-range jumper, but they seem to be using it well.
I love that mid-range shot, Greg. It's definitely given the defender something extra to think about.
Paul George with the steal. The finish.
Oh, man. Hey, it's one thing to have the physical attributes, the length, the athleticism, to play good defense. But the other part of it is the instincts. And George thinks and feels things defensively as well as anybody in the league. And really excellent instincts at that end of the floor.
To the inside. And it's slammed in by Ariza.
Sensational timing from the athletic forward. Ariza has great chemistry and awareness with his teammates.
They get the rebound. Adams. That's the 6th make from the field. He's taken 9 shots and missed but 3.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Paul passes to Ariza. Poked away. Anderson kicks to Harden. Pass to Ariza. Capella. It's good on the putback.
There you go. Relentless pursuit of the ball. I love it. He never stopped working.
George dishes to Anthony. The shot's good on the assist by George. 16 points for Carmelo Anthony.
And love the muscle Anthony brings to the 3 spot. Takes pride in outworking everyone when he's that deep inside. And he got loose from the 3-point range in the first half and showing signs here that he's still got the flow in the second.
Good on the triple.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
Yeah, and I like it. I love seeing that. It's a lot of fun when that happens. These teams are going at each other from the outside.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Inside, here's Harden. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Anthony's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Here's George. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
No misses yet. You can't do much better than that, guys.
And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Oklahoma City.
Well, it's been an outstanding game for them in the open court. Their fast break points really stand out.
Yeah, and another thing, they've created a lot of turnovers, but they've also been able to convert when they've gotten out in transition.
Free throw good, Paul George. Well, the NBA has made some adjustments to prevent the hack-a-shack strategy, fouling big men who can't make free throws. It still happens. Clark, is it always going to be a part of the game, do you think?
I think it will be part of the game, and I don't necessarily like it. I would much rather see the rule be changed because I think it just enhances the quality of the product. Some would argue the strategy should be on board for poor free throw shooters. I disagree.
The Rockets have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the third quarter got underway. That's good from Ariza on the assist by Paul. Paul's got his 7th assist in the game.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
I like how George looks for contact. He kind of seeks it out. He doesn't back away from the hard physical contact. He knows he's going to get a chance to get to the line when he does take the contact.
He's been stellar at the stripe, going 10 for 11.
And a lot of his points coming by way of the free throw.
I like the fact he's been dialed in. He's gotten into a nice rhythm, and he never got out of it.
Take a break.
He's had trouble putting up the same numbers from the foul line that he put up last season.
That free throw good from George. And George drops them both. Rockets have gone at a pretty good shooting pace. They're 6 of 13 from the field here in the third. Paul is doubled. Harden outside. Screen by Capella. Ariza outside. And another three for Houston.
He's simply a machine at the offensive end. I wonder how far behind they'd be if he wasn't having this kind of quarter.
Here's Patterson. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Now shooting 5 for 8.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Harden kicks to Ariza. Rockets keep it going with the new 24-second clock. It's deflected. Here's George. Doesn't go that time. Good D by Ariza. For Houston, they've gone 7 for 16 in the second half from the field, shooting a bit under 50%. And it's George finishing it off.
And you know what? In George, I've seen a bit of a maturity come about in terms of him picking his spots in games. And that's evidence of a high basketball IQ and a comfort level with his role as leader on this team.
Ariza with the bucket.
Wow. What can you say?
Oklahoma City has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Patterson can't get it to go. Rocket shooting here, about 46% for the game. Ariza with it. George picks him up. And here's Harden for 3. That one doesn't go. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. The Rockets pull it in. Ariza's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Trying to find Harden, and he's got it now. Here's Capella. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And, you know, Capella has a big body, Kevin, and knows how to use it as he draws contact from the defense on his way up.
3 trips to the line so far for him in this one.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
The first one falls. Eustace comes in for George. And a change for the Rockets. Gordon's checked in. He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Here is Paul. He's got 11. To the inside, and stolen by Patterson.
This game is going to get... that athlete.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Are you... Oh, my goodness.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Launches it. The rebound by Grant.
And I think these are the shots he's got to avoid taking. I mean, already struggling. He's not helping his team right now looking at those shots.
And for Houston, they're shooting the ball around 43% from the floor so far in the third quarter. Harden gets the bucket.
Now, you got to remember that Harden has a quick trigger, staple gun quick. This guy is looking to score as soon as the ball touches his hands.
Well, across the board last season, James Harden, Greg, saw his numbers jump through the roof, but he showed improvement both in his defensive engagement as well as his rebounding. Not something that a lot of us saw coming.
That's a good point. And with Harden, I think the rebounding is the really surprising number. Went from being an average rebounding guard to a great one the last few seasons. He's been showing more of a dedication to all aspects of the game.
Houston making a switch here. Nene's checked in. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. We take a second here to take a look at the shot chart for the Thunder.
This is the shot chart of a dominant performance. I mean, he's taking a lot of shots because right now he believes that every shot he does take is going in. And who can blame him with the way he's played? Simply outstanding work coming from him.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. That one falls, so he hits both of them. They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that. And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Well, you know, the D just hasn't been there for real. I mean, these shooters are getting any perimeter shot they want. It's a bunch of warm-up jump shots out there.
And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds.
Statistically speaking, let's see where the Rockets sit right now.
And you go back to their offense, the most explosive in the league. I mean, everyone talks about the great offense beating great defenses. And I tell you what, they make it difficult to hang with them.
And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession. Let's take a quick look at the real stats, real scores from the real NBA. Creating points off turnovers have been the calling card for these teams. Second, the Thunder.
They're so aware defensively. I mean, an opportunistic group in terms of forcing miscues and getting out in transition. And boy, do they do a great job of taking advantage.
Knocked away. And as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball here.
And how about the numbers here for Gordon? Averaging about 19 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go, but I like what I'm seeing right now.
Paul outside. Shot clock at 5. Houston needs to get a shot off. Puts it up. And that one hits back iron. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That's foul number 2 for him.
Turnovers weren't a story for him early on, but that's changed. And now they're definitely having trouble keeping possession and momentum.
And for Houston, they're shooting pretty well at 46% from the floor. And they double up Paul. Nene kicks to Capella. Count it, and he's now 8 of 9 from the floor.
You know, even though he's been on, they still are behind. I mean, there's only so much he can do.
Eustace, that one falls through. It's his 6th make from the floor this game, now 6 for 10.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Paul kicks it to Tucker. Back to Paul. The dish to Tucker. Outside Gordon. From past the arc. Gordon with another miss. The Thunder shooting with confidence. Wow, 66% from the floor. Abrinas' shot is off.
I can't explain what happened there, Kevin. I mean, he had the layup. Looked like it was a simple play. Somehow the defense threw him off just enough to cause the miss.
Outside Gordon. The 3 ball. Buries it from 3-point range. Gordon's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the 3rd for the Rockets. Patterson can't get it to go.
Great look, but he couldn't finish. Everything but is how we say that. Surprising since the defense was very pedestrian.
That one a little long. And it's the Rockets with the ball. Gordon kicks to Paul. 1:33 left in the 3rd quarter. Capella sets a screen for Gordon. Over to the left wing. Tucker can't get it to go.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
And Raymond Felton the bucket on the assist by Grant. Felton has got his 2nd basket of the game.
Well, I like that he shows no hesitation there.
Well, that's as easy as it gets, quite honestly. Riding solo and coasting all the way to the rack. No simpler than that.
Paul for 3, kept alive. Tries yet again. And it's Capella missing.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
Gordon kicks it to Tucker. He got right to the cup using that screen. Tucker's got 5 now.
And though lacking some height, Kevin, Tucker has the bounce, the reach, and the strength and attitude to do damage inside.
.24 seconds left in the 3rd. Paul for 3. Kept alive by Houston.
And they get it back again. I mean, how many rebounds offensively have they had? Everything's going right for them today.
From outside the arc. Paul missing again. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder. Way out in front. Their lead at 38 points as we close out the quarter. And against one of the toughest offensive players in the league, they've been doing a great job shutting down James Harden. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. Let's take a listen to a recent huddle from Coach Billy Donovan.
Guys, good job hitting ahead. That means we're running, which is good, okay? We've got to pay attention right now, okay, and what we're doing coming out of timeouts.
Pushing the action, fast pace. Billy Donovan wants to keep them rolling it out.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job in transition. They just need to stay focused and be efficient.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the 4th quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. They've got Felton. Patrick Patterson is out there with Eustace. Then it's Johnson, and it's Abrinas in at the 2 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Now here's Williams. He's covered closely. It's tipped. Abrinas kicks to Johnson. That one doesn't go. And the Rockets take it the other way. That's a 2 from Gordon. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Yeah, that's just poor decision making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain neutral position.
Brown the pass to Williams. Back to Brown. Black kicks to Brown. In the corner, it's Gordon. The shot's good. Brown making the play. 22 points for Eric Gordon.
3 triples in the first half, 3 in the second. Boy, do they add up.
And it's in there.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Patterson bringing the double. The feed to Gordon. Shoots the 3. The second chance effort. It's hauled in by Felton.
Kevin, I like the defense there. I mean, they didn't make that easy, and he definitely seemed intimidated by the defenders.
Patterson can't get it to go. Houston's gone 1 of 2 from 3-point range here in the 4th. That doesn't go either for Gordon. Thunder have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the 4th quarter. And the shot is good from Johnson. Johnson's got 4 points in the quarter.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
Good on the shot. 4th quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. On the wing, Williams, and stolen by Patterson. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Yeah, you know, it's got to be terribly deflating for the opposition. Boy, they look helpless. Really getting beat up, physically and emotionally.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that.
Houston making a switch here. Harden's checked in. Now, here's Patterson. Not a lot of room, and there it is for him. Patterson's got 10 points in just the second half.
No issues on that one. Good work all around.
Brown with it. Now Felton defending. Harden dishes to Williams. Williams double team. To the paint. Black the pass to Brown. They grab their own miss. A nice shot by Black.
How about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
Patterson. Danny battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Patterson's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
They set the pick. Black kicks to Williams, and it's Williams with the jam.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time, and he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one, that's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot the D can afford to give him.
Patterson, that's good.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Brown wide open. He fires. Misses the chippy right there.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
That's what I call an everything but. Good execution, just didn't knock it down. But you're right, they're happy with that shot.
He kicks it to Black. Back to Brown. Williams has a screen for Brown. Clark, we have seen an influx of players who function as point forwards for their team. How difficult is that to deal with as a defender?
I think it's really hard. I think it just speaks to the versatility of a player. If a guy has forward size but point guard skills, then I think that makes him more valuable to his team and more difficult to defend because he can start offense, not just for himself, but for his team. And that puts your defense in a little bit of a quandary as to how you're going to deal with that kind of versatility in terms of scoring and playmaking.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen, got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
Houston's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on three-point attempts here in the fourth. Harden kicks to Onowaka. Feeds to Black. Johnson with the block, and he's able to get it back. Yep, it counts. Black's gone 3 of 6, shooting from the field, 50% so far. Here's Eustace. Black grabs the board. Black's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Oh, man, just beast mode on the glass there. He was not going to be denied on that play.
Here's Eustace. Good for basket number 7 tonight on a not-so-unlucky 13 shots.
You know, he was a non-factor in that first half, but now he's making up for lost time.
Brown with it. Now Felton defending. There's a screen. Williams with a clean look with the tip. Oklahoma City shooting it brilliantly here lately. 60% from the field. Picked him clean. Now, here is Harden. And Clark, we know that players are evaluated in a historical perspective, largely by how many rings they have. Do you think that's a fair way to evaluate things?
I don't think you can solely evaluate an individual player in a team sport by the number of rings he's been able to win. Clearly, it can be part of the criteria, especially if you're talking about great players who have had similar careers. It can be a differentiator. But to me, it doesn't necessarily carry the weight that some people like to give it in evaluating players. Individual performance over time is what, to me, marks the hallmark of a player worthy of Hall of Fame consideration or being talked about being one of the greats in the game.
And he knocks down the first one. Jeremy Grant, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. That one is no good. Here's Patterson, and he uses the glass on the layup. Patterson's got 30 points.
Letting a guy sneak by for a putback off a free throw, that is inexcusable.
Brown dishes to Williams. He feeds it to Harden. Here's Black, and Grant sends it back. Here's Eustace. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple. And here's Harden. With the versatility of modern players and the switching that goes on in defensive schemes, Clark, are traditional NBA positions meaning less and less in the game now?
I think we're finding that more teams are playing close to positionless basketball in many ways. So positions aren't nearly as important as skill sets with your 5 players on the floor. I think that's what you look at when you field your team.
Here's Oklahoma City now. They're on a 16-6 run.
Man, I like his activity level. Think about it. The defense has to resort to fouling him sometimes to prevent him from scoring.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Grant.
And, you know, Grant, a second-round pick, has worked hard for his minutes in the NBA. He's an exceptional athlete who plays with a real edge, a bit of a chip on his shoulder.
And Grant drops them both. Each trip down becoming more important.
And you need to string some successful offensive possessions together and play tough defense.
Look at that.
Oh, my goodness. Watch out. Watch out below. Grant just showing no regard for the bucket there, looking like he was trying to tear that thing off.
Patterson against Harden. Stolen by Grant. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. And the dunk by Grant.
And how about the fast hands and then getting right out in transition?
Well, turning defense into offense, Greg. Outstanding effort there. Swiped it away with ease, and off they went.
Harden draws the double. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Grant outside. And the dunk by Grant.
And the commitment from Grant on the drive to the rim, I mean, he's absolutely ferocious, relentless in how he attacks the rim.
Rockets shooting a paltry 33% in the fourth. Not a good showing for this offense. And it's out of bounds to the Rockets as Houston retains possession. And so it's Houston with it. There's the double team with Grant. Williams for 3. That falls. Great assist by Bobby Brown. Brown's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Grant down low. Doesn't go for him. Williams with the defensive effort. Harden outside. Harden draws the double. Black kicks to Williams. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
And they're just living beyond the arc here, really, the entire fourth quarter.
And, you know, this is the time to do it. Sinking triple after triple. And it ends up becoming contagious.
Harden left side. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. On defense, Oklahoma City. And Jeremy Grant picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And we just had one of the closer MVP races in recent memory. Clark, do you define the MVP as a player with the most impressive stats, or the best player on the best team, or somewhere in between?
Kevin, to me, the MVP is an individual award. Clearly, we play a team game in the NBA, and a team's performance is part of that, but it's a small part of it to me. An MVP performance is one that not only has consistent high-level statistical production, influences winning at a good rate, but also stands out in the magnitude of the moments this player has over the course of the season. Those two things drive the needle for me as an MVP voter if I had such a vote.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Well, the commissioner recently said the NBA will review, Clark, the one-and-done rule for college players. Any idea how that will change, if it will at all?
You know what? I'm not sure, Kevin. Quite honestly, when this rule was instituted about 10 years ago now, 10 or 11 years ago, I thought it would be good. I felt 1 year of college, if a guy was fully invested in that experience, would be better than no years. But I also understand college is not for everybody. And I'm actually of the mindset now that you should be allowed to leave right out of high school if you so choose. But if you do go to college, I would like there be a rule in place that there's a commitment to 2 years. I just think that would benefit all involved, the players, the universities, and I think the NBA would get a more mature and an NBA-ready prospect. That being said, I think we're going to end up, kind of where we are right now. I don't know if anything is going to change in the near future.
And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They're in front. We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
This is a timeout maybe just so they can pat each other on the back because no other reason to call it.
Well, they're really just being conservative, making sure they don't make any last-minute mistakes, I guess. I mean, I have no idea. No idea.
Chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Patrick Patterson.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
He doesn't always get the minutes he's gotten tonight, but there's no way they were going to sit him down once he got going. And the crowd has been loving it. A memorable night for him coming off the bench. We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Felton. That shot, no good. Some solid defense from Brown. From deep, Harden. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Here's Aprinas. The shot will not fall. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense, potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Carmelo, what did you like best about the win tonight?
We just played hard. We came out here ready to play. We jumped out there quick on the defensive end, and offensively we got it going again. And it was a great team win today, though.
Everybody contributing. Carmelo, thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us. So long, everyone.
Give up